Morning, blisters, I love it. Oil the balls. Evening all, we're alright. So just before we properly start, we're going to get to double figures. That'd be cool. Don't know why, doesn't matter if not, but just have a go. Yes, it is cold as well in Derbyshire. The ice has got icicles. It's that cold. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Realised what I mean is double figures of people that we know, like the page, because it only shows the numbers on the stream. I don't think for doesn't show the public. I don't think. I'll stop. Okay. Right, Tina. Stand by to see the notices that the bride is in the house, just repeat and the bride is entering the lane. Step away from the lane. Oh, it's amazing, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the comments as well on the old YouTube. Yeah, Japanese metal. There's the top. new thing, and it's not going to work, is it? Ah, cool. Wikipedia, I can see that message. But yeah, it's going to be a message about the Facebook group. This one's the page. Thanks for being here. Hello. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, especially those joining for the first time. Wikipedia, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let's chat EDM, which is, Japanese metal. Are we talking baby metal? Is it kind of, there was a band a few years ago. Was it a band called Crossfaith? Like, almost kind of like Prodigy, but with even more guitars, kind of like proper crossover sort of stuff. But anyway, hello everyone. How are you? Thank you for being here. Let's just make sure I haven't missed any comments. So, hi Spell, and Kate says hello as well. Hi Tina. Hello Angela. Hello Torpedo. Cool. Right. So if you haven't been here before, it's good to have you here. So this is just a chance to gather, hopefully once a week, as well as the content going out each day on Facebook, and trying to get kind of more regular kind of pre-record videos, just a chance to kind of share some stuff at the start and end of the day, but at least once a week to catch up like this, as well as in-person stuff like we're doing on the 18th of January at St. Paul's Johnfield here in St. Paul's Johnfield here in Johnfield, surprisingly, which is in Derbyshire. Yeah, there we go. Geography, educational and everything in it. On YouTube, messaging on the thread that says I'm multitasking. Nice. Yeah, baby metal. Yes. Ooh, okay, cool. So I've only heard of baby metal, man. That's cool. I'm going to go and do some Google viewing. Google viewing. Cool. Excellent. I should now get into this. Is that, hold on a minute, because it's that, are they Japanese? There's a band that do like kind of, it's almost like kind of Japanese type folk music, but with metal stuff, and it's amazing. Kind of like the kind of Nordic stuff that's like that. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go and do some research while we gather. So, good evening, blisters and others. I'd like to know, pray tell, comment on YouTube or Twitter. No, we're not doing Twitter because you have to pay. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, especially when Notts County relocate here. Let's pretend I didn't say that live anywhere. Nigel. So yeah, let's work out how much of the how much of the world are we covering at this point in time. There's some Derbyshireness going on. Definitely some down south in Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, East Midlands, West Midlands, Sheffield, South Yorkshire. Right, let's gather before I just get carried away doing this for the next 3 hours again. Anyway, so, right, what needs to happen? I don't know. Oh, for those who haven't joined before, let me introduce you to Hild. All right, it's Hild. I'm in Whitby in Yorkshire, which is better than anywhere else because it's in Yorkshire. And I like Yorkshire tea, which is like tea, but it's better because it's from Yorkshire. But also, I'm the patron saint of metal and goth stuff. I'm not really, but I am now. Cheers. So, welcome. And State Hild will be making sure that I roughly know what I'm doing. Yes, Sheffield is freezing. I'm from Ealing. Awesome, man. Cool. In Somerset, dude. Oh, no way. What? Moving to Sheffield later this year. That's fantastic. Well, there we go. Small world. And that's brilliant. Excellent. So, if you haven't been here before, just to explain what happens. It's a chance to gather, talk about stuff that's been good in the day or in the last week since we met like this. Stuff that perhaps is not great. And for those who pray or just want to kind of acknowledge stuff to a force that might be beyond ourselves, whether we call that the universal force of love, hope, whatever kind of spiritually works for you, just to acknowledge some of that together, and to kind of have a sense of being together, and a love of just accepting each other as we are, all of our different sorts of music, in a place where perhaps sometimes it's quite easy just to judge people, and actually a place where all are welcome. So enough whiffle waffles. I know. All right, Hild, shush. Let's not gather. I just want to emphasise again that hello, Joyce. So we got Devon, we got Somerset in the house. Not really in the house because the house isn't that big. I just keep looking at this screen, pressing buttons in the hope that something happens. I need to concentrate. Okay. And now the proper welcome.
You're welcome here if you're she, he, we, or they. You're welcome here if you're gay, straight, or working it out. You're welcome here if you're in a relationship, single, divorced, or widowed. You are welcome here if you're inked, pierced, both, or neither.
You're welcome here if you're young.
Or young at heart.
You're welcome here if your neurons like to be typical or like to be spicy. You're welcome here if you're more Christian than Colin from Witch Hazel, or haven't got the whole faith thing yet.
You are welcome here if you're living on a prayer, or could use a prayer right now. You are welcome here if you've got it all sorted, or if you've got doubts. You are welcome here.
Yes. So, what we normally do is just after that we're all welcome, is just have some words that are kind of words of gathering, and you're welcome to join in, especially if you're on public transport with headphones on and just start saying this out loud, especially the person next to you has fallen asleep. Just some words together that just acknowledge that we are together in the week that has been, the day that has been, wherever it is for you, however sunny, warm, cold, all the stuff going on in the world, all the stuff in your own life, the stuff in the lives of those whom you love. I'm trying something different. I'm using the mic on my headphones, so I don't know if it's coming out okay. This is when no one tells me that it isn't, because it's better that it doesn't, right? Yeah. Anyway, so yes, let us gather.
As moon rises, the sun slips sight. Begins the ritual of this night. For those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far, come as you are to this place, and embrace this space, as darker hue embraces you. Of water,
good evening, Hugh.
spirit,
It's
earth and
cold in
fire,
Wigan as well.
confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here, you, me, and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine.
Right, that's it. Matthew Forsyth from All We Can has just been let out the cupboard under the stairs to pass me the serious microphone. Hello, I'm a microphone and I'm very serious. Thank you to Wikipedia. That's helpful to know it's a bit quiet. Bear with. I tell you what, well, I know we've just done the gathering bit, haven't we? So I've run out of time. Quickly, hold on. With you. For those who haven't joined before, honestly, this is as professional as it gets. No. Yes. Right. Right. Let's just see if this is any better. When I remember how to do it. Blah, 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 blah. Audio. Blue. Okay. Is that any better? Is that any louder? Is it a bit clearer, hopefully? So, a chance to share just, how things are with you. Are there things that you are thankful for? Have there been things today in the last week that have given you hope, joy, cheered you up, given you a sense of, that there is good stuff amidst stuff that might not be so great? Stuff to which you ought to say thank you. Cool. Cheers, man. That's really helpful. Thank you. Haha. Right. Yeah. Good. Right. So, can we thank Patreons who's supported able the purchase of this louder microphone, and apologise to all those who now regret this is a louder microphone. Yes. So it's good to be thankful. Even if there's other stuff going on that is tough. And of course, for those who like metal or like historic things or kind of semi-quasi fantastical historical fiction, Vikings, Saxons, that sort of Dark Age thing, to say thank you, but to say it in Norse, because it is more Viking, therefore inherently more metal, and to say Tusen Tak. So what is it this day that has given you that sense of hope, of joy, of just putting you back in touch with the stuff that reminds you of who you are and kind of puts you in that right headspace or mind space, heart space, whatever, whether it's out and about in the countryside, whether it's in the city, whether it's seeing people, not seeing people, listening to Japanese metal, trance, dance, whatever, whatever it is that is you. What is it that you are thankful for at this point in time? It'd be lovely if you want to share on YouTube or on Facebook with a comment, and we can share some of that later on to encourage each other, especially those who are, in the UK and not hugely enjoying the cold. Though recognising, for those of us sat streaming inside, a home, that's, which I'm thankful for that, and just think about those who, otherwise are on the street or relying on a shelter that's been opened when the weather gets like this, and then, when it's not like this, find themselves back on the street. And so let us have a listen to some random music, and now some music what I wrote, just while you think about what makes you thankful for for those things you want to say Tusen Tak for. That one, because we played that one. This one. I want to turn this up, it's quite quiet. Wait for it.
the eagle it soars, wind and rain, refresh once more. From fear, hope redefined, we will not be denied. For are we yet alive? Invoke the threefold name and rekindle the flame. Faith, hope and love they remain. The song shall stay the same. Like it's all gone too, shall we be downcast too? Or stand shield to shield, together in the field? We refuse to yield. Steadfastly holding the line, for love wins in eternity's time. We keep pressing forward until the last, and our crash shall be forever true attack.
So let's just put some comments about those things for which we are thankful. Cool. Two things. Thank you, Torpedia. Faster internet installed today. Amazing. I hope it's working as well as you expected. Yeah, no, that's cool. And and you heard the Paranoid album for the first time today. How was that for you? So I think that is it my favorite Black Sabbath album? I guess I first discovered Black Sabbath on an album in the mid-80s called Rockade Armenia, and they put a track from, the title track from the album Headless Cross, which is kind of, way after the classic lineup has gone, and it's kind of Tony Iommi kind of just keeping going. And, it's got that very big 80s sound, which, however, then going backwards and kind of discovering stuff, I think my favorite song is on that album, War Pigs, I think, which those of you who might remember a couple of, about 2 years ago now, was it? Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, we did our first in-person Metal Methodist thing, and it was close to Remembrance Day, and so we played War Pigs in church as one of the best kind of anti-war songs ever written, in terms of a song in protest at the Vietnam War, as is a lot of kind of that particularly early Black Sabbath stuff, despite what people might have thought they were singing about in terms of black masses. It was referring to people who kind of peddle war and destruction. And Iron Man, just for the intro and the way that kicks in as well. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think of it, man. So I'm glad those are two things. That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. And with Tina, thankful you had a message. Message you shared was received positively. Cool. Okay, at the other St. Paul's. Not this St. Paul's. No, I'm in the wrong place again. So that's St. Paul's in Sheffield, just over the border from here in Dronfield, which is St. Paul's. Dronfield. One happens to be Methodist, one happens to be Anglican, but all denominations and all faiths are welcome. So that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. With Angela, thankful for the weekend. Fri-Yay, a warm house. Yep, it's cold down south too. You see, I did catch myself, and I wonder what it's like for you, Torpedia, in Somerset, because I remember thinking I've experienced snow ever since I left Bedford. But I think I can count maybe in 10 years the twice that I remember snow in Bedford, and since moving to Leeds and then even further down south here in Sheffield, just over the border, working in Sheffield, but just based over the border in Derbyshire. It's kind of snow at least once a year, and snow like I only just about remember it being like in the northeast in like the sort of late 70s, early 80s. but yeah, so it's good for you to ground me in that I'm remembering with rose tinted sunglasses. That perhaps it was snowier and colder down south than I remember. Yeah. Okay. Have I not missed anybody? Okay. Thank you, Kate. Thankful that the Choose and Tack music has been played because I haven't captured it for the MM Literature book yet. Cool. And yet again, I think I wrote it whilst putting the video together. So again, it's not even in a random notebook in my scribbles for me to go and find. So well done. Yeah. Ugh. Maybe I could play it through Zoom, because on Zoom now automatically AI transcribes it. I've discovered because I was doing an interview, and you can use it, say, taking notes apparently, which is also not okay because it also reminded me how much I wiffle waffled. Wiffle waffle. Oh yes. There will be a Metal Methodist kind of book literature thing, so you can use this wherever you are. On the website metalmethodist.co.uk, there are the elements of this for morning and evening with the videos that you can play. If that's helpful. I think most of them are linked through to actual videos that are embedded on YouTube, but it plays through there. And again, as Torpedia found some a bit more of an explanation of what this is meant to be on YouTube as well. So Isabel, thankful, received a hospital diagnosis this week. Cool. So did I. So I hope it's. I hope you're okay. I think. And thank you for sharing that and feeling able to. And yes, Judas Priest. Yeah, what particular tracks were you listening to? You see, I still think I know people hark back to the glory days of whatever, and my friend who is convinced at the time that Judas Priest started playing metal was the time that Judas Priest started being rubbish, when I think it's the time they started being great. But it is from the comeback album, the first several comeback albums before kind of changing vocalists and retiring, and they're not retiring. It is Revolution, yeah, on is it Angel of Retribution? Yeah, I think that is my fist in the air song. Right, come on, world, let's do this. So yeah, I hope you're okay. I hope it is a diagnosis that that you have the support that you need, and that thank you for sharing that, and know that therefore you are not alone, that we are with you, thinking of you, and joining with Judas Priest and the great cloud of witnesses to just kind of be with you throughout it all. Yeah, and thank you for being here, Isabel. Nigel, thankful that the church boiler got fixed today. Yes, and also choosing tack to the rest of the property team, and with Joyce, choosing tack, you survived the cold week. Yes. That's nice. So family been in touch. Are they all right? I hope as well. Cool. So okay. So this is talking about the Paranoid album. A couple of tracks that were a tad weird for me. Yeah. I'm just flicking through, kind of going, Electric Funeral. Planet Caravan. I wish they hadn't. Yes. I'm looking through it. I'm kind of going. There's probably like 2 track, War Pigs, Iron Man, and Paranoid, and I could probably, this is going to get sound unpopular, but leave the rest. But yeah, yes, this is true. Not yet, anyway. We might kind of change it. Okay, you've been in single digits, but not had snow. Cool. Okay, yeah. Well, I think we've had snow last weekend, and then that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was kind of 10 centimeters, which is less than kind of a month ago. And then but it froze at that, and then it snowed again, and then the rain came, and then turned to sleet, and then snow again, and then it just all froze. And so yeah, it is pretty grim. I mean, just fair play to everybody who drives the gritters, to farmers who've stuck their snow plows on and waded in and done stuff, for people who've cleared roads for neighbours, for family, and people who've checked that other people are all right. and for the fact that whether it's shops because we need food, whether it's people finding medical, physical, emotional, mental support, well-being, that those services are there even when it's like this. So cheers and tuck for all those on the front line. And now a message from our brass monkey. Now, I'm not looking at you, Hild. Good. Yeah, right then. So thank you, wonderful people, for sharing what has given you joy, hope, taking you outside of yourself, connected you with the wonder of the cosmos creation and that universal force that is love and relationship, that you want to say thank you for, but to say it in a Viking way because it is intrinsically more metal. So thank you for sharing. Oh, sorry. Just quick update. Quick update for Bedford, Hertfordshire. It is okay. Not much snow, but just freezing. Yeah. So thank you for sharing what this day has made Yow say. That was in my best Black Sabbath accent. Sorry, Solihull. Thank you for sharing what this day has made Yow say. Choose and chuck. I just love the metal conversation going on in the chat. This is amazing. So from Isabel, been a fan since 1980. I totally love that you've said that, Isabel. Yes. So what, Redeemer of Souls? I thought had some classic kind of 6/8 moments in it. Sword of Damocles. I really like. I have not listened to Invincible Shield, I confess. I've ummed and ahed. I've picked it up and looked at it in vinyl and HMV and put it back again and walked away and had a massive conversation with the manager of the one in Meadow Hall about it, and then walked away and then bought some much more random, I think, My Dying Bride instead. And then got sidetracked by the Witch Hazel CD on the racks, and so didn't. So I think I need to do that. So I'm really glad that I've discovered somebody else who is a fan of their later work. This is fantastic. And just before we go back to Black Sabbath, so when we were at 3 Generate at the NEC arena with Witch Hazel, we were kind of walking through, and we noticed a poster that I thought at the time must be referring to some sort of like, kind of indoor metal fest with sort of good quality cover bands, because it said Saxon and Judas Priest. And it isn't it? It's actually Saxon and Judas Priest on the same bill. Apart from the fact I'm not sure my gig days are. I think they might be behind me. But maybe you're going. I don't know. So Isabel, meet Torpedia, meet Isabel. Yes, what an introduction to Sabbath. Absolutely. I recently, because they've reissued, because I really wanted Headless Cross, because I won't say how old I was, but I'll give it away. So it was about the same. So I think it was 1986 that came out, and I would have taken me a long time with pocket money to save up at 50p a week to get that. So I've been trying to get it, and you could not get Headless Cross as an album, and they've just reissued quite a lot of the stuff that was perhaps harder to get because the lineup was seen as not good. It didn't have Dio or anybody in it. It was, but actually, so I quite like Headless Cross as an album. It gets a bit bluesy towards the end. If you like sort of Joe Monobassa, there's kind of that vibe to it. But the Heaven and Hell type era is pretty classic as well, I would say, if you like that fairly big traditional British metal rock sound, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so we have endorsements. We have endorsements for Invisible Shield. Right, thank you. Ah, okay, thank you very much. Horns for a Halo by Elegant Weapons. I shall Google those. Thank you very much. You're at the Birmingham gig. Amazing. Yeah. Ah, cool. Fantastic. Ah, yes. Uriah Heep. Uriah Heep. Yes. Saxon and Judas Priest. Yes. Like the Holy Trinity. Yeah. And right. Enjoy your tea. Thanks, Angela. If you pop back later, I'll make sure there's some notices for you to catch up on. All right. No, seriously, there will be notices. Take notice. There will be notices. Yeah, and so in Sheffield, I don't know if it's the same elsewhere, but our gritters have names. So I have not seen this one, Sled Leopard. That's brilliant. I've seen. In honor of Dame Jessica Ennis Hill, the gritter called. It's based on her name, and I can't remember what it said. But yeah, there are some fantastically named gritters in Sheffield. And yes, they did. Yes. Judas Priest did a collab with Babe Metal. Yes, they did. Which is I think may have come off slightly better than the. There's nothing wrong with it. The Saxon collaboration with Viking death metal legends Amon Amarth, where it was kind of literally Vikings versus Saxons. It was very good. Yes, Jessica Ennis Chill. That was it. Yes. Thank you. We all got there. I'm the one who saw it, and I couldn't remember what its name was. Brilliant. Yeah. So, Grits of the world, we salute you. Just also recognizing there might be stuff going on in life that is heavy and not in a cool metal way, and a chance to acknowledge some of that and to lay that down, either because it's like something we think, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. I acknowledge that. Sorry for that. I'm going to turn around and I can leave that there. It might be a situation that you are coping with. So hopefully this is a space where you can lay some of the sense of carrying that down. And when you pick it up again, if it's something you need to pick up again later on, maybe it's a caring situation, something like that, you know that you do so not alone. So just a chance to share any of those things, recognizing it's a public forum. So just encourage us to be responsible for sharing information that's ours to share, and respecting the confidentiality of others. But if there's stuff that you want to lay down using initials, abbreviations, whatever, I'll just do it in our own heads. What are those things that are heavy, not in a cool metal way, that we want to lay down this evening?
Greetings, Sir Patrick.
I forgot what a slow fade to black that is. Yeah, I shall get rid of that bit now, shall I? There we are. And yeah, just evening, Patrick. Good to be with us. So if you've missed anything, Patrick, we were talking Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Japanese metal, and crossovers and genres in between. Laying down the fact that it's cold, but yeah, just choose and tacking, and yeah, a chance to acknowledge and lay down those things that are heavy and not in a cool metal way, as we share in these words.
The principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And as we lay those things down, no matter how far away God feels from you, if you believe in God, or how far you feel away either from yourself, others, from the universal force of love that I believe is God. I believe in Christ that comes running out to meet us, arms open wide, and says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, even if you don't like Iron Maiden, though why wouldn't you? And I will give you rest. May rest and peace be yours this night." Amen. Bye, Nigel. Have fun. We should have tea reports. What's that? Chippy tea? What's everyone having for tea? Yeah. And now, a reading from the Bible, What is Metal? The Metal Bible. So metal, it's made of paper. Yeah, get yours at metalbibleinternational.com. For those who are wanting one, yeah, Millie, absolutely. There are ones winging their way to us. One of them has your name on it. So I've ordered some more at the beginning of this week, and Mr. Harding, some of those are for you. So we're just waiting for them to get them in, and then we'll kind of dish them out. But if you're going to be there on the 18th, so a week on Saturday, week tomorrow, gosh, better start planning something. Yeah, you need to. Hey, put kettle on, and I'll help you think of something. Thanks, Hild. Yeah, next Saturday we could dish them out if you're coming. 7 o'clock, St. Paul's, John Field. Accessible from the motorway on the M1, also train station. Get here direct from Sheffield and umpteen other places. So yeah. Anyway, and now we're reading from the Bible, What is Metal? The Metal Bible. So metal is made of paper. Yeah, he's all right in drinking that Yorkshire tea. Good man. He'll blesses you. Bless you. Right. Okay. So Tina likes kind of heat to cold. Yeah. No tea here. No tea here. Yeah, either. Okay, if you bother making it yourself. All right, Hild. I will. Make sure you use a pot. I will. I'll warm it and everything first. Yes. Microwave roast dinner. Tea report from Joyce. Microwave roast dinner. Nice. Yeah. I did see beef dinner for one the other day. Microwave one. I thought, yeah, actually. Yeah. And then I remembered I'm vegetarian, which is all good. But sometimes you kind of go, oh man, yeah, I kind of used to like that. Anyway, what if I do a corn version? Corn roast, microwave roast thing. I'm starting to feel hungry. Not for your tea. I'm going to drink the tea with the tea. Drink the tea and eat the tea, Hild. Right. Microwave mushroom lasagna. Nice. I am a mushroom fan. That is, yeah. I particularly like beige food. Let's just that probably tells you all you need to know about me. But yet, maybe because when you cook with mushrooms, they kind of make everything beige anyway. But of all the vegetables, of which I don't like many, mushroom is, probably anything keeping me alive, to be fair. Oh no, Kate's not had hers yet either. So for those who haven't met Kate before, Kate is the road crew. Posts and kind of the other bit of the, I suppose, the Metal Methodist team, full-time team, as well as everyone else involved. Okay, so an update. So those who haven't, I haven't got my All We Can plug segment thing. Oh well. So an All We Can plug. So All We Can is the charity formerly known as the Methodist Relief and Development Fund. But much catchier, I think you'll find, is All We Can. And All We Can, that name is based on one of the sayings attributed to John Wesley. Not him again! Yes, Hild, I know. But John is up there, with that great cloud of witnesses with you, Hild. I know! Yeah. He's got very metal hair. He has, hasn't he? Long hair. Yes. All right, Hild. Yes. And All We Can, develop partnerships with communities in various parts of the world as part of enabling us all to be part of seeking to build a more just and fair world. And so All We Canuary. So John Wesley was attributed as saying, do all the good you can, to all the people you can, in all the ways you can, by all the means you can, in all the places you can, whilsoever you can. Hey! Nice one, Hild. He's got you to say it. He has, yeah. So there we go. 10 days in, and so Patrick has been running, and so far, good grief, has run 68 kilometers. That's 42 miles in total. Well, yeah, I was going to say, being careful, hopefully, in the icy conditions. Ouch. But we salute you. In fact, Hill's just putting an extra bag in the pot in honor. So, yeah. Merciless plug. Yes, absolutely. No, yeah, let's do that. So I think Kate would probably be able to cut and paste that into the Facebook page or a YouTube comment. So it's justgiving.com, Patrick Stone here. And yeah, please do support Patrick if you feel able so to do. And I think if you go back into the mists of time, there's conversations with Patrick, there's conversations with Tim Baker, formerly of All We Can. So it's something that we've kind of tried to support and work with previously at the beginnings of Metal Methodist during lockdown. Oh really? Oh crikey! So I'm going to go on Street View now and kind of go, ooh, yes. So yes, back to if you are coming to St. Paul's this on a week on Saturday for the Have You Got the Blues, January Blues kind of chance to be together, we'll stream it. We'll also be together in person as well, so a chance to meet people if that is comfortable and okay for you, and you're able to get there. But particularly focusing as January often associated with the month where people feel a bit because it's after Christmas, but equally perhaps others kind of feel because we're on the other side of Christmas, by which I mean kind of all the stuff of Christmas, not necessarily the kind of the message of hope and of the divine that lives and shares our human lived experience, and so knows our joys and our sorrows, and comes into the humanness of being laid in an animal feeding trough, and the people working night shifts that everyone forgot about, the economically marginalized, the shepherds are the first to hear, and the fact that people from different countries, different cultures, probably different faiths, in the wise persons are invited as well. So that sense of good news for everybody. So I don't mean, we've got the other side of that bit of Christmas. I mean, all the stuff that can be difficult in terms of things we feel we've got to afford, things that we feel we've got to do, and places we've got to go that perhaps we don't cool with being around loads of people. Just all of that. Yeah. Okay. Really? Good grief. So you're a hill walker. So when you come up north, are you heading to the Peak District? I know we haven't got many peaks but no mountains. But yes, there's certainly some good ones. Yes, I've managed to go up Kinder Scout quite a few times. And then I think once I went up the right way, the other times I think I went down the way that people come down, which is like through like what was kind of a rocky waterfall thing. And I wondered why I got to the top, and you kind of like had to kind of boulder and pull yourself up. By which point I realised I was late for the kids, and so then had to run back to get the car. Because, wow, you're so fit, you're so dedicated, you're running. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just late for the kids. Yeah, that was the end of my hill walking technique. It was more the hill falling down technique. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay. Right. Fantastic. Wow. That's thank you for sharing. Okay, so Kate's showing that she's a fan of January. Yes, as was your Fri-Yay post today. So I forgot the reading from the Metal Bible, right? So this is using the Methodist.org.uk kind of daily suggested reading. It's from the Metal Bible, which has testimonies and stories from people in the metal scene, including the newly retired drummer Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, Dave Ellison from Megadeth, others as well, Mr. Alice Cooper. So this reading tells the story of Jesus rocking up in Samaria. So people from the Jewish faith and people from Samaria kind of didn't get on because it was kind of slight, perhaps all acknowledged God, but perhaps kind of had different views on who was right and who was more in, and that. So kind of a bit of social religious tension, to say the least. And perhaps a good Jewish person wouldn't speak to somebody from Samaria necessarily. Certainly would probably, in terms of being many ritually clean, would perhaps not have spoken to a woman. But we're talking, well, I was going to say we're talking 2,000 years ago, but I'm sure many women would agree. Perhaps not a lot has changed. But anyway, Jesus is thirsty, and he's at a well, and this woman comes to get some water, and Jesus says, "Give me a drink." I'm sure he said, "Please." So the disciples are off camera by this point. They've gone to get some food. The Samaritan woman says, "How is it that you, a Jew, ask a drink of me, a woman of Samaria?" Because you don't share things in common with people from Samaria. It's like Metal Methodist and people involved in stuff in Sheffield and close to South Yorkshire. Working with I don't know, a band like Witch Hazel from the other side of the Pennines. In Lancaster. No, did someone say Lancashire? All right, Hild, it's okay. We still like Yorkshire tea. Good, yeah. We drink it in Wigan as well, Good, yeah. So anyway, Jesus said, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that's saying to you, "Give me a drink," you would have said, you would have asked him for a drink and he would have given you living water. And he says, "Look, you have no bucket and the well is deep. Where do you get this living water from?" So for all those of us who perhaps, don't necessarily take easily to a metaphor and kind of hear or understand things quite literally, she's, what on earth is living water? He's asked for a drink, we buy a well, and now you get it all kind of metaphorical on me. He's had like sunstroke or something. Jesus has this kind of conversation with her, and Jesus says, "Well, the living water is this thing that I will give to those who ask, and they'll never be thirsty again. It will become a spring of living water gushing up to eternal life within inside them." And the woman says, "Blimey, give me that water so that I may never be thirsty or have to keep coming here to draw water." Jesus said, "Go, call your husband and come back." The woman said, "I have no husband." Jesus said to her, "You're right in saying I have no husband, for you've had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. What you've said is true." The woman said to him, "Sir, I see you're a prophet," potentially in the sense of kind of divinely inspired rather than sort of kind of mediumship or that sort of thing. So yeah, discerning something with, yeah, how did Jesus know that? Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain in Samaria, but you say that the place where people must worship is Jerusalem. So, you as Jewish people, we're wrong to worship here. You say we should worship in Jerusalem, in the temple. And Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will worship God, the all-parent, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You will worship what you do not know. You worship what you do not know. Sorry, we worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But the hour is coming and the hour is near, and now here, when the true worshippers will worship the all-parent in spirit and truth. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." The woman said to him, "I know the Messiah is coming," so the one promised by God to those who are suffering oppression, injustice, that eventually God would send what was probably understood as quite a political, perhaps even military type figure who would come and whoop some Roman bottoms. So that's who the Messiah is, and when he comes, he will explain everything to us. And Jesus said, "I am he, the one that you are speaking to." Oh, Nigel's back. Evening, Nigel. So that is a reading from today. It is John 4, verses 7 to 26, but the bit that on the Methodist Church website they're focusing on is verse 23-24 that says, "The hour is coming, the hour is now here, when the true worshippers will worship God in spirit and truth, for God seeks such as these to worship God. God is spirit, and those who worship must worship in spirit and truth." So, yeah, what do you kind of make of that story? Hi, Mark. Good to be with you, my friend. Maybe it's a familiar story. Maybe you've never heard that story. And I was speaking to somebody else who'd never read the Bible, and he's going, "Man, it's like it just like repeats itself," and I get really confused. And I've never been so aware of this as we're kind of reading this out on here. And I'll try to put it on the screen, and then the text is tiny in it. Yeah. So, if any of what I've just said, what your thoughts are on that. Essentially, this is a story where Jesus is, in my view, crossing religious and cultural boundaries and taboos, actually, and risking criticism, and yet he's saying that actually this thing called God, this message of hope and of freedom and of inclusion and of justice is for everybody. It's not about gender, or it's not about the worshipping in the correct way at the correct place at the correct time. That actually is bigger than all that. It's an in here thing, and that deep calls to deep, and Jesus says, I am the way to that. Love to hear what your thoughts are. So here's some music as we reflect, and please do share a comment on YouTube. No, not Twitter. Don't share it on Twitter. Well, you can if you want, but we're not streaming on Twitter, so it'd be going. That would be quite psychic of you. So on Facebook or YouTube, are your thoughts on that?
Go well, Torpedia. Thanks for being here. See you again soon. Yeah, let us know what you're reading. We should have a Metal Methodist book club. That'd be cool. Yeah, but thank you so much for good to kind of get to know you a bit. And yeah, see you again. And bye, Tina. Thank you. So yeah, we are absolutely on the case in terms of metal Bibles. All right. As soon as they arrive. So yeah. Being asked to think about this reading. So yeah, Jesus and the woman from Samaria break the boundaries of gender, of race, of social class, and religious affiliation. What about you and me? Yeah, are there those with whom we find it difficult to? Oh, sorry, it says challenging, and these are the questions asked by Julian Kingston, who is a preacher in the Methodist Church in Northern Ireland. Yeah, asking the question for those who would count themselves as people of faith, who perhaps worship, whether it's here or in other places as well. Are there people that you kind of go a bit about, that you find it difficult because you think, well, that's not the way to do it? Or, as I think for me anyway, part of this is because perhaps we identify perhaps more with the woman in that story, in terms of perhaps being seen as different, other, for whatever reason that is, whether it's the way you dress, whether it's the way you identify, whether it's the way your neurons work and how many neurons you've got, whether it's your musical tastes, whether it's the way you dress, whether it's whatever it is, you're too loud, you're too quiet, whatever, and actually, hopefully, this is a place, regardless of whatever sort of music we like, that tries to, I think, inspired by that sort of reading and question, that says actually this is a place for you, for me, for all of us. I'd like to think when there is heaven fully on earth for everyone, that's part of what it's going to be like. That, in the words of Queen and Freddie Mercury, heaven for everyone. And so I guess the challenge is with our own unconscious biases. Is that a word? Biases? No, it's not biceps. I haven't got one of them. Biases, unconscious, but yeah, the things we carry around within us, and only when kind of perhaps we reflect and go, oh, why am I feeling that? Kind of go, oh, okay, what is it in my upbringing, my experience, what I've consumed from media and news, that has formed this picture that I'm kind of having this reaction. Are there still people kind of just perhaps we think, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not sure about the way they do church or what they believe in. Yeah, I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you, Mark. Love the message. Hopefully and eventually people get the idea behind it. Yes, yeah, and give up on the fighting and come together once more, which reminds me of one of my favorite Who songs. I'm not a huge Who fan, but is it Join Together with the Band? Just like, you can hear a drummer calling, join together with the band. Just this song of peace and looking out for each other, and just there's enough of whatever, and we can just let each other be. So we join together in that way. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Amen. So your minister said something really interesting recently in the covenant service. I'm just going to get a pen because I'm doing a covenant service this Sunday, so I shall make a note of what your minister said, and I try and make it sound interesting when I say it. We don't choose who we are Christians with. The reading reminds of that sentiment, Kate. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. We don't choose who we're Christians with. No. I wonder, I think I've had conversations with, so those who don't know, we're not doing this. I also wear a white collar, and I'm a Methodist presbyter, so ordained minister, assisting from a Methodist deacon who's also ordained, but presbyters mainly work within the sort of church, as it were. And people kind of saying, perhaps in some types of church, it's we've done a situation where we'd like lots of younger people, but perhaps sometimes it's been expressed as we want younger people to keep this thing going so we can keep doing it like we've done it. Which is fine. However, I went on a team management course, must be 2 years ago, and this thing about it always stuck with me. This thing about when you're a team, when someone new joins a team, you're a new team, so you have to go through the whole process of kind of norming and storming before you get to the kind of the performing and kind of gelling and coming together, as Mark said. But that sense of perhaps sometimes we we want to just kind of carry on doing the same thing, but that doesn't take account of the gifts and the uniqueness that everyone else brings to that party. It's like saying you can't possibly have an Iron Maiden with 3 lead guitarists in it. Once Adrian Smith rejoined the band, well, it's like, goodbye, Yannick. Thanks and that. Cheers. No, we'll just carry on. It's like that moment when Dave Grohl played drums with Queen, 2 drummers. It's like it just adds something else to it, something we never even thought of, and it does things, and we hear things that we'd never conceived of, and maybe church, community, this metal thing, metal Methodist thing, whatever. That we all bring something, and it's there's room and space for everybody. We just have to kind of shove up a bit and accommodate people, but perhaps we can't choose those people. But actually, I think the point is that they are our sisters and brothers, part of the one human race, and from a my faith perspective, carry they're made in the divine image. We're all made in the divine image, and it's how we see that in others rather than can we see that in others. Does that make sense? And sometimes because of the way we can behave, but also because of the stuff that we carry within us that we're perhaps not even aware of, sometimes we have to work quite hard to find that bit of sense of encountering Jesus, the original long-haired bearded dude from Nazareth, in each other. And probably people would probably say the same about me, thinking I'm yet to find anything that kind of remotely reminds me of Jesus about you, even if you have got long hair and a beard. Don't worry, it didn't miss the notices, but thank you, Kate, thank you, Mark. I think there's both really, really helpful points that that enough room. And we talked about there's a campaign about ending food shortage, enough food if somehow we all work out how to share it. And yet we still live in a world where people talk about buying entire countries, and other billionaires want to put rockets into space as we realize we've done some serious damage to this planet. And I start to get nervous about, well, we'll fine, we'll just clear off and like wreck the moon or some other planet or whatever. And it's like, no, because the people who probably at the front of that queue are the ones who can afford to be. And actually, as the human race, whatever we believe, just out of genuine care out of each other and this creation that we share, that we owe it to each other to give people the kind of respect that we want to receive ourselves, I guess. So Patrick, ramp me with whom you will, yes, which is from the Methodist Covenant Prayer, which I'll be saying this Sunday, and Kate was at a service recently where that was said, wherever you may place me, in the contemporary English version. So actually that reminds me, last year we did a Methodist Covenant. I can't remember if we did it this time of year, but I've missed a trick. We should do. So maybe we can include that next Saturday in person. That would be cool. Thank you, Patrick. I'll take that as a all-parent prompting, because Kate wrote some words. We have a little video to go. So for those who are not part of the Methodist tradition, this was so John Wesley was an Anglican vicar,
and basically got booted out of the Church of England because he was doing all sorts of things, a bit like Jesus in this reading, that was kind of, the people who were kind of those in charge were going, well, you're not supposed to do it like that. What are you doing? And he's going, well, these people who can't get into the church because it's full and they can't afford to put their name on a pew and sit in it, so they're all outside. So I'm going outside to stand on my dad's grave and preach to them, and actually I'm going to tell everybody, come to this field and I'll tell you about this thing called love. Just as the rhythm of my heart. And it was field preaching, and for him, beat Cambridge, Oxford, well-to-do ordained clergymen, and sort of the upper echelons of English society, as it were, like something out of the Barchester Towers, Barchester novels by Anthony Trollope. What a load of Trollope! All right, Hild. Sorry. He said, I'm going to preach in this field. He said, I have submitted to be more vile, because this is not what a sort of English curate should be doing. They should be in an English country garden, eating cucumber sandwiches with the crust cut off and playing croquet. Anyway, he does this, and that's how the message of love, of inclusion, that the shepherds heard, that the wise men hear, that the woman hears at the well, even though she's from a different gender, different class, different socioeconomic group, and also a different kind of religious sect, to Jesus, shouldn't have heard if those in charge of saying what's right and wrong, we've stuck to that. And Wesley does the same thing, which is why when we do our swaying bit, there's a picture of John Wesley, and it's the thing about submit to be more vile. People would say that you can't, well, it's the devil's music, this stuff, but as William Booth, the founder of the Salvation Army, said, well, why should the devil have all the best tunes? But actually, War Pigs, Black Sabbath, it's about heavy metal song, but it's about it's an anti-war song. So actually, again, in what ways are we judging without really understanding? And yeah, how do we share that together? So yeah, I think that reminds me, thank you, that's really helpful, that we will use that in our stream a week on Saturday, as part of the January Blues in-person service at St. Paul's in Dronfield, starting at 7:00. See, the more times we talk about this, the more times I'll say it. So this is cool. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Kate. You haven't missed the notices or much really, apart from me waffling, which you won't be surprised about, Angela. Nigel, it's about inviting new people to the table and making room. Yes, Sonia Hicks. I just did that, didn't I? I'm sorry. And then they can invite their friends and to their table, and it'll be different, and so on. Which reminds me of that scene in Wayne's World 2, where it's going, all these people have turned up to this gig. Oh no, how did that happen? Well, we told these people, who told their friends, who told their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and it splits with like more and more Wayne things, which makes no sense if you've not seen Wayne's World. So anyway, so yeah, all of that, I think. So let's keep on making room, and being challenged, and it is a challenge, because maybe we have to examine and accept some stuff about ourselves. But maybe by doing that and talking about our differences, actually we come to a deeper understanding, rather than, we just kind of stoically stand next to each other going, oh, I really can't stand this person. Or, oh, good grief, they've worn this to church. Woo! Or even, blimey, that person's a bit smelly, or whatever, Maybe if we really understand each other and hear each other's story, then maybe we find something of our story in that divine, cosmic, eternal story of love. But sometimes it's not easy. So yeah. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Mark. Nice one. Thank you, sir. I'm glad somebody else has seen it, because that would have been it's just not a good cliffhanger. Which would be a really good name for like Cliff Richard's and the Shadows groupies, wouldn't it? What are you? I'm a cliffhanger. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So all of that. Let's pretend I didn't say that, and we'll end with that. Nice one. We'll cut that bit out. Amen. Thank you, sister. So, what is it?
you bring as and for prayer, just where I've gone off again, which isn't like me at all. But yeah, just feel free to type something in. Maybe it's a situation you're aware of, or somebody, again, just respect people's confidentiality if you want to use initials, or just describe a situation. The divine knows, right? So yeah, I think that pray for those who are struggling with this cold weather here, those struggling in LA, and the fires that are raging, those risking lives to save lives, those who have been responsible in potentially having set some of those fires. What the whole question about Jeff Bezos putting rockets into space, as well as Elon Musk and Richard Branson, what all that means. Yeah, I'm not in a sort of Luddite kind of way of it's, like with AI, that it's going to take all our jobs sort of thing, though it might do. But yeah, but those sort of questions as well about our care for this creation and this planet, those things we bring as and for prayer. Pray for Emma and Tracy and Sue and the rest of their family. Rest in peace and rise in glory, Steve. And thank you for being real. Yeah, let's offer all of this to the All-Parent. To the one in whom all people and all creation have their being, may your kingdom come, your will be done, as above, so below. Sustain us for this day. Show us grace as we seek to show grace to those we feel have wronged us. Save us from the worst that is within us and within this world. For the kingdom, the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. And yeah, so F, with love and respect. And yeah, just know that you are known and named and seen and valued. And thank you, Patrick and others, just the way in which we are there for each other and the people that we know and those who are there for us. Yeah. So, and that's how that thing that Mark spoke about, how we all kind of join together. We make room, as Nigel said, and it's not about choosing. It's just about being available and just being thankful for the gift of grace that is other people available to us to help us share whatever burden it is, and to encourage us and to accept us in all our weirdness. Okay, my weirdness. Sorry, I'm not putting that on anybody else. Yeah, okay, Angela, thank you. Yeah. So pray for that young person and whatever issues they're going through, that again, through Angela and through others, that they are not alone, and that they know that, and that is a reason for hope, for encouragement, for strength, as well as solace and comfort and refuge. Yeah. And now, the notices. Notice number 1. Number 1, so a week on Saturday. Have I said this before? So, just before Christmas, we had metal carols at St. Paul's, Norton Lees, with amazing people, and it was cool to meet people and make some connections, and hopefully we can join together again with people we didn't know, but now there's room for all of us together. So it's St. Paul's in Johnfield. Essentially, it's going to be kind of a version like this. So, you could be there in person. There'll be music
playing and to listen to. You can engage in that however you want to. There might be some activities to do that are kind of ways of reflecting or thinking or letting go of stuff or expressing thanks for stuff. But again, there's no pressure to take part in that. You can watch me make an idiot of myself. You can just listen. You can have a lie down. You can watch it on the stream, whatever and however you need to be. But know that you are welcome to come as you are in person or on the stream at 7 o'clock in St. Paul's here in Johnfield. And notice, so we have a launch code. No, well, yes, we do. It is a launch code, but not in the sort of like rocket sense. But the Metal Methodist t-shirt, you can order yours, and I think we're doing a hoodie next. So if you click the link from Facebook, Street Shirt goes. So if you cut and paste it, put it into a new tab on your browser, press paste, you can order hoodie, a shirt, and then in time we're going to do a hoodie. It's just got the words Metal Methodist on. The reason for that is, yes, to promote this, not in a everyone needs to know about it, but in the same way, if you're into music or a particular sports team, you wear your colours with pride. I'm wearing my Transformers t-shirt again, but also, it's a way of kind of saying, what's Metal Methodist then? What's Methodist? What's metal? Well, a conversation starter. Not because it's about this, but to perhaps talk about some of the stuff in that reading that Mark shared, and Nigel shared, and Kate shared, and Patrick shared. But that idea that a sort of perhaps potentially countercultural thing that says, trying to create this place of community where people, however they are, are welcome and known and valued and welcomed and included. Yes, will do. We can put the link on YouTube as well. Thank you, Isabel. Bear with me. Can I get into that? Yeah, we can do. I was going to do it from here. I can't, so I'll do it afterwards. Sorry about that. Unless you're able to do it, Kate, are you? Or to email it back to me and then I'll pop it in as a post. So because it is one of those codes that's a lot of randomly generated numbers and stuff. So we'll put the link on. The code for free delivery is FreeDel, as in free delivery. And so then a week. What did I say? Tomorrow? Yeah, a week tomorrow is the Metal Methodist thing in St. Paul's in Johnfield. So please do come if you can. We're going to do hoodies next. And the other day says, for those who might have seen the Connection magazine, it was a privilege, complete with embarrassing photograph, to kind of talk about Metal Methodist and this community, and a chance to do that again through the Methodist Recorder that I genuinely called the Metal Methodist Recorder, but maybe it will be for that week, which is kind of sort of the newspaper linked to the Methodist Church, and they do like a spotlight on, and so they've talked about Sheffield, and they've talked about people with Methodist links within Sheffield. So David Blunkett, OBE, MBE, the former Home Secretary, and his kind of Methodist faith and links. So then they're doing one on Metal Methodist. I'd appreciate your thoughts on that. So we're doing that conversation on Wednesday. That I think is, I kind of want to use that as an opportunity to talk about Sheffield, as well as other industrial places as kind of the birthplace of metal. I know the West Midlands, in terms of Sabbath and Zeppelin, and Judas Priest, are integral to that. But there's something about the industrial experience, and that links to, for me, I lived in the northeast at that time, so it was, what was going on in the coal industry, or what was not going on in the coal industry. And how metal perhaps only could come out of those kind of social economic experiences, but also the link then between that and kind of particularly fantasy fiction back to the imagery of the Book of Revelation and how that's influenced metal, and that sense of this being a music that takes you out of yourself, that expresses, a bit like punk did, some of the rage against the machine in the literal sense, as well as the band, but also offers that kind of transcendental sense of hope or resilience, that perhaps there is more to it than this job where you risk taking your fingers off the day before you get signed as a guitarist in Black Sabbath, a record label as a guitarist in Black Sabbath, and you've had an industrial accident. Just the importance of the story, I guess, of metal, and how that perhaps echoes something of the Methodist history of John Wesley, Charles Wesley, the importance of singing and music, particularly working with people who again were miners, who were kind of beginning of sort of industrial revolution stuff, where factories and things were starting to happen, but a lot of people who were the land and business owners, who could afford the seat in church, and then everyone else struggling, and not able to potentially have access to education, but actually through Methodist movement and other expressions of that evangelical revival in the 18th century, saying actually this is a message for everybody. So back to the reading again and what Mark said, but a chance to talk to Methodist Recorder about that, which will be interesting. So we'll see what happens. So there we go. So the notices are a week on Saturday, so a week tomorrow, St. Paul's, Johnfield, 7:00. T-shirts, which we'll try and put the link on YouTube as well, but last chance to get the T-shirts, and then stand by for a hoodie. Just a chance to kind of share what we do, start a conversation, and I know some people were asking about the price, and the prices. I think we kind of had a look at other metal shirts online purchasing and Christian stuff, and that kind of figure was about on a par with others, and whilst we have been very fortunate to receive some funding to support some of this work, it's for a finite period of time, and so to continue to kind of develop stuff and to try and grow this community, we need to bring some funding as well. So part of the sale of those shirts helps contribute to that as well. So I just want to be upfront about that. Okay, I bored everyone to tears. Thank you very much. It's time to say goodbye. Not that song with Sarah Brightman. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for the world being a better place because you're in it. And until next time, there will be a next time. Next Friday at 6:00, and then a week. The next day on the Saturday, a week on Saturday, 7:00 at St. Paul's in Johnfield, because I haven't said that enough. Until then, sway with me, Metal Compline. Way with me, Metal It's not working. Why is that not working then? Oh, I know why. Yeah. Sway with me, Metal Compline.